This is the Gaming Buzz Podcast, where ranting about video games somehow equals content.
Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the Gaming Buzz Podcast. I'm Jacob, and I'm joined by Christian.
Oh, hello, everybody.
And Jason.
Hello.
Hi, Jason. I'm not very enthused to be talking with you today.
I don't know why. My list is twice yours.
Oh. Just gotta go and measure how good we are as people by the length of our lists, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you talking about with these lists?
We're doing hidden gems today.
Hidden gems. So we actually did an episode a long time ago. It was episode 3, maybe 4 of our podcast. Christian, Darian, and I, we talked about hidden gems, games that we really liked that most people really didn't appreciate. And we figured, why not do that again? We've got a new person on the podcast. Right, Jason?
Yep.
And we all have some new games we want to talk about, or games maybe we just forgot about. So we're going to just go down our list and talk about some games that you guys should check out. And who wants to go first?
Well, I think I'll start first, okay?
No. All right, go ahead.
I'll start with my 3DS list. I have LBX Little Battles Experience, if I said that right. The reason being that I've never seen anybody else play the game besides my friend Dalton and Lewis, and that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
It's a level 5 game also.
it sold decent, but it really didn't get the attention I think it deserved. Like, compared to other things around at the same time, Yokai Watch, Pokemon. Kind of overshadowed it, I think.
Well, those games, the game came out last year of September, and Pokemon and Yokai Watch weren't out by that time. It was, I think, due to Mario Maker coming out also, and it wasn't marketed well because the anime is based on the game. It was marketed reversed, and also that it doesn't have online play. And that's one of the things that people wanted in the game was online, because you can have like 4 teams of 3, I believe. I haven't played multiplayer in a long time though. Playing against each other, and that's one of the best things ever. And there's a bunch of customizations, just like Custom Robo, but on 3DS, and a little much better. A little more polished. But I'm not gonna give crap to Custom Robo.
All right, so you think people should pick it up?
Yep, it should be cheap right now. Hopefully, on GameStop, get it for cheap, kind of.
All right, as Jason said, he has the biggest list, so why don't you go next, Jason?
Starting with a couple of them, I have Beyond Good and Evil on the PS2.
Oh, come on, Jason. Come on. That is the most obvious pick for a hidden gem. Come on, step it up.
Folklore on the PS3. Release title for the PS3, and it's probably one of the best games on the system.
Now you're getting somewhere interesting.
It's actually one of the games that used the 6-axis controller in a decent way.
How so?
You had to use it to capture monsters to get through certain areas and use their powers.
Sounds like Pokemon.
Better. Cold Step Saga on the 360. Magic the Gathering meets Monopoly.
That sounds amazing.
I've only seen one copy come through work in 3 years.
That sounds really cool.
So the first one was on the PS2, just called Concept.
Mm-hmm. And is that hard to find as well?
Yes.
Well then.
Cheap, but it's hard to find.
So I'm actually going to steal from you right now. Speaking of video games that mash one thing with a board game, and are really hard to find. The first game I have on my list is Dokapon Kingdom, which is half RPG, half Mario Party.
And isn't it one of the most expensive Wii games you can get?
If not the most expensive.
Actually, it is, but
yeah.
Oh, it's that 110%.
It is very expensive, and well, first of all, it's an Atlas game, so actually in Japan it was a PS2 game, but when it was released here, it was only available on Wii. kind of interesting, and it's really fun. And I'm really bummed out that I don't have a copy. Do you have it?
I do not.
Do you want it?
Yes, I do.
Christian, do you want it?
That's my answer.
There's
Okay.
only one Wii game that makes my list, and that's Boom Blocks.
Boom Blocks, interesting.
A lot of people overlook because they want the other party games, but I only made it to like the third area before I got sidetracked. First level, you're throwing bombs to destroy like blue bricks on towers, just destroying towers with bombs. Second one, you're throwing bombs at monkeys trying to steal those blue blocks. And then the third one, it's a maze where you're pulling bricks out of the way to get a monkey through a maze in a set amount of time.
That's interesting. I've never played that game. It's not just one game, it's a series, right?
There's two of them.
Yeah. I haven't played either one of them, but I do hear really good things about them. Christian, have you played them?
No, I
No?
have not played them yet. I've heard about them, but I have not played them.
I think Jason's going to have to educate us sometime.
We kind of did. He told us how the game is, right?
Yeah, that's
Or I'll get it to you and you guys can do it in your little Let's Play thing.
that would be fun.
True.
So who wants to go with their next video game hidden gem?
I'll go because I'm more important than you. I have a mustache. I'll keep going on my 3DS list. I got Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson. Shoutouts to Darian.
I think it's well established now that Darian likes that series too much.
Way too much.
He has an unhealthy addiction to it.
Well, it's a lot. As long as he's not dressed as the characters, you will be fine, right?
Yeah, that is something out of, I think, all of our worst nightmares.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks for that image.
okay. Anyway,
Darian is off screen right now, flipping off Christian. So I think we should shy away from that. Why
Well-
is that game so good?
besides the obvious luscious characters, the gameplay and the battle system is actually very good, and the customization is very nice to your eyes appeal. The graphics are good for a 3DS game, and the story is very good. I like the story. It's a graphic novelish storytelling, but then the characters do speak. Well, sometimes when they're talking, during conversations, and then you have shinobi transformations, which is like you go into your ultimate form, I guess, and then you just dish out a bunch of combos. That being said, also the multiplayer is very good. It's very nice. I haven't had troubles with it at all, and thumbs up. Yeah.
So for those people who don't know, Senran Kagura would be classified as a horde fighter in like the vein of Dynasty Warriors or I don't know. I kind of just lost the ball with that. What other?
Warriors, Orochi, Samurai
Yep.
Warriors,
There we go.
Hyrule Warriors, anything with warriors in the title.
Yep.
Absolutely.
See, the only difference being that
Except
you
for
actually
the
have
warriors.
a goal.
And yeah, it actually does the genre a lot of justice. It's a really good series. I have not played Deep Crimson before. Most of my experiences went through Shinobi Versus.
Mm-hmm.
Also really good. That's on the Vita.
The reason I set it for 3DS is because it's on a Nintendo platform, which only the true fans would really find it. Will go for it. Me being, I really like action games a lot. It's one I like fighting games, and it's very nice.
All right, Jason, have you played any of the Senran Kagura
I have
games?
not. The one I was going to pick up from work got picked up the day before I was going to pick it up.
Well, I think you need to.
Just like I think everybody needs to play Legend of the Guy and Bushido Blade.
Yeah.
Are those on your list?
They are the last two physical media on my list.
All right, and what's so special about them?
Legend of the Guy has one of the most unique gameplay things. Mist generators break, monsters spawn, just like normal RPG type stuff. But you're fighting, when you level up, you get an increased gauge to do your skills, and your skills are based around martial arts. And if you don't know those moves, you can either randomly input stuff and learn a move if you get lucky, or you can look them up. Bushido Blade was a PS1 title as well. You were like samurai with all sorts of different swords as an option. You could cut down trees and bamboo and things like that, which is pretty impressive for a PS1 game.
You have talked about Legaia before on this
I
podcast.
have.
It was actually the very first episode you were a part of when we were talking about RPGs. Check that out.
Yes, I
episode
very
15.
much love that game.
Would you say it's your favorite?
It's up there.
All right, I'm going to go next because I'm the actual important person here.
Yeah,
Christian.
right. Nah.
He wishes.
He does.
And sometimes, like, I have games that I recommend to people, and they just go, really? Just based off of the title. So the game I'm going to recommend now, seriously, one of the best games on its platform, which is the PS2. It's a exclusive to PS2 game. Transformers. Not Transformers, blah, 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 like, oh, and not based off of any of the Michael Bay movies. This was before them. It's largely based off of the Transformers Energon series, or the series before it, which was Transformers Robots in Disguise. It's kind of in between those. It's really, really impressive. There have been a lot of Transformer games, and most of them have been terrible. There are a couple on the PS3 and Xbox 360 focusing on Cybertron that were decent, but this one's by far the best Transformers game, and it's not only a good Transformers game, it's a good game. So it is an open-world third-person shooter that heavily relies on, well, being able to transform into a vehicle and either drive or fly around. And it works incredibly well and is very impressive graphically for, a PS2 game from 2004. I assume neither of you have ever played it.
I have not. I was never a big Transformers guy.
Nope. The only Transformers game I played is the latest one, Transformers Devastation, which it's not a hidden gem because it just came out. So you can't really say anything about it.
But it's also pretty good.
Oh, goddamn. I played it for like 3 hours straight, and I took a break.
Made by Platinum Games.
Yes.
Yep. But definitely check out Transformers on the PS2. Very good game. So I'm going to pass it off back to Jason for fun.
Don't you mean Rollout?
Yep. Transform and roll out to the next hidden gem.
Everything else I have on my list is downloadable. You can download them on various different systems, things like that. Mm-hmm. 3 of them actually have gun in the title. Enter the Gungeon, which is a roguelike bullet hell game where you have a combat role and the weapons are just insane.
Very fun game. It's 2D sprite based, if I remember correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tower of Guns, which just has insane guns. Like, it's a bullet hell game, and you get upgraded skills that can do crazy stuff, increase damage, jump height, things like that. And then a game called Guns Up, which is a mixture between tower defense, real-time strategy, without the harvesting of minerals and crap like that.
You have to construct additional pylons?
No. Though actually, yeah, technically you do for the tower defense, but it's not tower defense in the traditional sense.
Uh-huh. And which of those 3 would you say is your favorite?
Guns Up is probably the overall better one.
All right. Well, and what are they available on?
All 3 of those are available at the very least on the PS4.
Okay. And I know Enter the Gungeon for sure is on Steam. I don't know about the others. Christian, you any thoughts on those?
No, I do not have any thoughts on those, but they look fun. I like the one that has Sprite based on it.
I've played Enter the Gungeon before.
Mm-hmm.
Little hectic, but very fun.
I die really fast in that game.
Yeah, it's not very easy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Christian?
All right, I'm going to roll out to the PS1
No, stop
games.
the Transformers joke, please. Seriously.
For PS1, I only have one title, and it's a gem, not a hidden gem. It's Legend of Dragoon. This is the only RPG that I really play on my PlayStation 1 system, even though I have like 5 others. But that's the only game that really got me going with RPGs, because Legend of Dragoon was the first game that I saw that had voice acting in video games, which was like amazing when I was a kid. I was like, oh, they have voices. and I like the CGI cutscenes. And by the way, I'm still stuck in one boss. That's how RPGs are with me. I get stuck in one boss, and I'm like disappointed.
I don't know. Jason, do you consider it a hidden gem?
Oh, like he said, it's not hidden,
Yeah,
but it is a gem.
it is. It's definitely not like its praises are not sung as much as they should be, but I do think most people know it exists. That's always a positive, right?
And for an RPG, it is a reasonable price.
Yes. It's actually fairly cheap for
Like
a
sub 20?
solid PS1.
Like sub 20 right now.
I got it for free.
You found it in a dumpster.
I did.
I think you've told that story before.
Yep, I was
Yep.
dumpster diving for a bunch of PS1 games, and one of them was the Holy Grail. No, I'm just kidding. Just Legend of Dragoon.
Hey, can't complain.
Well, the Holy Grail of having like 10 PS1 games for free, which
Yep.
is pretty nice.
Can't complain about that. I'm going to go next, and this one is I'm going to specifically call out one of them, but really it's the entire series, and that's Yakuza. Especially, Jason, you're nodding your head and smiling. I think you're proud of me for this one. I'm going to call it specifically Yakuza 3. It's my favorite in the series, and I think it's the least appreciated out of them. The nice thing is the series is really starting to get some ground with Yakuza 5 and Yakuza 0. But some of the other ones are kind of underappreciated.
Didn't 3 remove the hostess clubs, though?
I can't remember, honestly. It's been a couple years since I played it. The last one I played was the zombie spin-off, which is not very good, but the rest are. Stick to the main series titles.
He's talking about Dead Souls,
Yes.
for those who are wondering.
But there are a lot of ways that I've heard Yakuza be described, and the two ways I would describe it best are a martial arts soap opera and the best goddamn tourist advertisement for Japan ever. It's basically a Japanese tourist simulator. There are so many fun things you can do exploring the streets, going to arcades and playing actual Sega arcade games. How cool is that? Going to maid cafes. What? It's a little bit nerdy, and it's not as like polished as say Grand Theft Auto is for a sandbox game, but wow, is it worth it? And it is one of those series where you can jump in at any point, but there are certain games you probably should start off with. I hear, although I haven't played it, Yakuza 0 is a really, really good starting point. So start there. Thoughts on that? Have you played Yakuza, either of you?
I think I own one of the games, but I haven't played one.
It's been a while, but yes, that series is really good.
Mm-hmm. You'll never actually want to finish the game. You just want to do all the side stuff. The side stuff is what really gets to you, not the like, oh, I got to finish the story and find out what happens. It's like, I'm going to go down this street and see what I find. Very fun. And I'm going to pass it off to Christian. We haven't heard from you in a little while. Like 1 minute.
Okay. 1 minute later, we're back to me. I'm going to go to the Wii now. I have 3 games. Speed Racer. Yeah, just
Yep.
Speed Racer. Yep.
The best F-Zero game ever.
All I can do is shake my head.
It seriously is good.
It is very good. I played it with Darian and Dalton. We were just like weebing out or whatever you want to call it, because it was pretty awesome just racing each other. And
Carfu.
Who's your Carfu? I'm just going to go to the next game right now, okay? It's Grillov with Ultra Hand. It's the only Nintendo game you can get or could have gotten with Club Nintendo. And as a reward from like 2000 something, somewhere in the 2000s, okay?
Oh, it was a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years ago before it died out. But the cool thing about that game is you're the Ultra Hand, the good old Ultra Hand. You use your Wii remote and nunchuck and just go like this. I probably just put the camera out of focus, but whatever. But it's one of those party games that you can also make it a drinking game if you want to. See how many pieces of food you get before you mess up.
It's very interesting arcade-style game. Very hectic and fun.
Oh, hectic indeed.
And not that easy to come across now because there is no physical version.
No, you can only got in it through Club Nintendo.
Jason, have you played Grill Off with Ultra Hand?
I have not.
I have. It's fun.
My new console's here. We just plug it in.
One of these days.
Jason's turn.
There's actually 3 more on my list. I'll do 2 of them now and go back to you guys. I got Zombie Apocalypse on the 360. It's a twin stick shooter.
It's always fun.
Basically, it's just a top-down shooter where you're looking at your character run around killing zombies. Crazy weapons between shotguns and whatnot that just slaughter them. You have a teddy bear that's zombie bait. That makes funny phrases when it's thrown. And then it explodes because the stuff was C4. But and then a game called Death Spank. There's a series of them. There's 3 games right now that I'm aware of. There's Death Spank Thongs of Virtue, and a game called The Baconing.
Oh, this sounds wonderful. I have not heard of these.
It's on the 360. It's just as weird and wonderful as what you can imagine.
How do they play?
It's like a little RPG top-down thing. I mean, one of the first quests in the first game is you have to get magic cherries, and then you need to get demon dung to polish them, so they give you a poop hammer.
What?
So you got to go beat demons until they crap themselves, so you can polish magic cherries.
Well,
what?
Sounds terrible, but the game is fantastic.
Okay.
Your teleport things are outhouses.
I have no words for this. Besides, I have no words for this. I guess we're gonna move on from that. I'm gonna go next.
Yeah, one up that.
Yeah. I can't. I don't have anything weird, all random like that. Next game I'm gonna talk about is definitely not that. It's actually quite on the serious side. It's a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 game. I believe it's also on PC, but don't quote me on that. Called Syndicate. This game's... they really pushed it as, this is the AAA the shooter game. You're going to love this game. It's going to be amazing. Blah, blah, blah. And then it went, and no one bought it. Have either of you played it?
I have not avoided it.
Okay. Take Deus Ex, like the classic Deus Ex games, and dumb them down a ton.
So terrible.
Sounds terrible, but it's actually a pretty clever game. It's a squad-based shooter, so you can like control other people. But the main gimmick of the game is that everyone's augmented with cyber parts and robotics. And what you can do is you can hack into those parts and take over your opponents. So you can tell one of the guy's brain chips to go, hey, why don't you just explode? Or you can tell one of them, you know what? I'm going to have you help me instead of try and shoot me and shoot all your friends. It's clever. It's fun. It's not a perfect game, but it's interesting. It's worth the $4 that it sells for. So that's what I'm going to go for. And seeing as I've got a couple left, I'm going to go for a second one now. And this is going to be another one of those weird ones. And it's also going to be another one of those, the full series is awesome. Check them out. But I'm going to call out one in particular. Earth Defense Force. Another smile and a nod from Jason, and Christian's laughing. Earth Defense Force is terrible. My favorite is Earth Defense Force 2, which you can buy here in the States on Vita, and it's wonderful. The first one's also on Vita here, but a lot of them were budget games on the PS2 or PS3 in Japan.
There's a few on the 360.
There are a few on the 360, and there's a new one coming out for PS4.
I'm pretty sure it's already out.
I don't know. Maybe. Someone cite that in the comments. Let us know. The way I describe Earth Defense Force, besides being terrible, those science fiction movies that you see late at night when you're watching TV and you're like, this movie's really bad, but it's so bad it's entertaining.
Well, it doesn't take itself seriously, and I think the game when they made it so they meant it to not take itself so serious.
I
mean,
think maybe the first one they didn't. Like, they accidentally made a game that was so bad it was good.
but it's really fun with your friends still.
It is. The series is incredible. I think my favorite thing about them is the voice acting, the English voice acting.
Oh,
It is infamously terrible on purpose.
The game. It's bad in all the right ways.
Exactly. That's exactly how I'd put it. Third-person shooter where you fight hordes of really random things, giant ants, bugs,
UFOs,
aliens, lots of interesting stuff.
robots.
It's not very satisfying shooting because, like, it's terrible, but it's also really, really quirky and fun. Also, Earth Defense Force 2, played on its hardest difficulty, which there are 5 of them, is the most impossible challenge I've ever seen.
Like impossible.
It is ridiculously hard because instead of making enemies like smarter, because they're really, really stupid, the AI, they just spawn a whole bunch more of them and basically press fast forward on them so they run like 4 times as fast and shoot 4 times as fast. It's utterly ridiculous because you spawn instantly. There's a horde of enemies around you and you're dead. Definitely a series worth checking out if you like really cheesy stuff or just bad things. It's worth it.
What's next on your list, Christian?
All right. My next game still on the Wii. One more. Rodea the Sky Soldier on the Wii. Okay?
Mhm.
And the only way you can get it is if you get the Wii U one, which was bundled. You can call it Day 1 edition of Rodea the Sky Soldier. Came bundled with the Wii version, which that's the only way you can get it. Only first print run only. For me, calling it a gem is pretty much like only, I only knew it because you, Jacob, you told me about it.
Did you just call me Jacob?
Yep.
Jacob.
Yes.
Jacob.
I got the yay instead of the J.
Yep.
That's what, when Christian's really happy, he says ya instead of ja. It's very funny.
Yeah.
So Rodea the Sky Soldier makes you really happy.
It's a very fun game. It's very satisfying to play it and beating levels and collecting. It's a collectathon pretty much.
Now, what's really funny is I first found out about it. I knew of it as a Japanese-only release, which it was for quite a while. And then the Wii U version was coming out, and they packaged the Wii version in with it, and I was really excited. And I told Christian about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy this, and you should too. And then Christian ended up buying it, and I didn't.
Sucks for you, actually.
Yeah. And I just haven't gotten around to picking it back up. So, whoops.
Good luck to finding it because I haven't seen any copies around at all.
I haven't even been looking, so I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
I can just borrow yours if I really want to.
No. That's same with me. Knowing you'll probably just keep it.
No, that's you who does that.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to move on to PS3. My only PS3 game being 3D Dot Game Heroes.
The Legend of Zelda, but cooler.
Yeah, pretty much. Its plot is pretty simple. The king of that era didn't like 2D, so they went to 3D. So now they're 3D blocks. Mm-hmm. And you're a dude that wants to be the hero or whatever. Simple enough.
It's clever.
We're being told to wrap it up, so he's giving me that finger movement like,
yep.
Give me a roll.
Yep. We got a lot of games.
Is that Transformers, Joe?
I got one last one.
We have games on our list.
I got one last one, and it's One Finger Death Punch.
Oh, I've got like 60,000 of them.
Yeah, I got One Finger Death Punch.
One Finger Death Punch.
Download it, play it, love it. It's only like $4 or $5.
What is it?
It's download it and play it. You'll see.
Okay. On what?
Basically any console.
Okay.
Except for maybe Nintendo.
I'll take your word on that.
Well, of course.
I'll blindly play it for you.
Good.
Okay. My last 2 games, I'll do these quick. I've got Blast Corps on the Nintendo 64. Most difficult control scheme you'll ever find in a game. It's a top-down drive and explode things game. And it's very arcadey and it's very, very fun. And it's made by Rare. So it's not a very rare game. And then my last game, this is going to sound weird. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. weird. It was released on a couple consoles, but the PS2 version's the one I played. Very, 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 very gorgeous game for a PS2 game. It was one of the last PS2 games released.
And that's
2008.
one of the reasons why it's expensive right now.
And it's really good. Fun. And you get to explore all of Hogwarts. The end. That's all of our hidden gems, right?
Yep.
We're all done. We'll probably continue this subject in another episode later on, but you guys should join the Gaming Buzz community on Facebook. Let us know what your favorite hidden gems are, and you can also do so by leaving us a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know. We love to hear that kind of stuff. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching. Right?
Yeah.
You guys gonna say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time.
Did you like that? Of course you did. You can get more at gamingbuzz.com. Let us know what else you want by connecting with us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube.